Out of the hundreds of anime that I've watched, Scissor Seven is one of the few out there that actually managed to repeatedly make me laugh. I remember scrolling through Netflix one time and seeing this cartoonish Chinese action comedy and just being drawn to it like LeBron to a Diddy party.
No, ain't no party like a Diddy party, so
yeah. I had just finished watching Vinland Saga season 1 and I needed something to fill the hole that masterpiece left behind, and this most definitely filled the hole. Scissor Seven is about an assassin named Seven who's lost all of his memories and has now become a hairdresser who decided to complete extra missions for some extra cash. But the main problem that we're faced with is that Seven is so goofy and stupid, he always seems to fail his missions. These 15-minute episodes really go from 0 to 100, which basically reminds me of like Regular Show and The Amazing World of Gumball.
I know we normally don't have very good excuses for why we don't do stuff, but we definitely have a good one this time. That horse right there fell out of the sky and has to pass a US history test or the whole earth is gonna explode.
Combine that with the cartoony art style and this show is literally made for me. As a certified cartoon connoisseur, I will tell you right now that this anime is the closest thing I felt to being a kid in the 2000s, coming home from school, turning on the TV and binging Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon.
This shit means something to me, man.
Alright, that's enough glazing for now. Let's get into the Squabbles, because this show really knows how to make some goated fights. The fight I want to talk about is Red Tooth versus Seven. But before we can go over this fight, let me give you guys a little bit of a backstory. Red Tooth and Seven actually fought previously before Seven lost all of his memories. Seven had just been invited to join the Shadow Assassin rankings. This is basically like being invited into the Akatsuki, but Red Tooth didn't think he was worthy, so he wanted to test him. Red Tooth pulls up on Seven talking hella smack.
You ain't never gonna be shit. Your mama wasn't shit. Your daddy wasn't shit. You think you gonna be some shit?
Seven brushes him aside, but look at Red Tooth. He is a certified crash out. He wasn't gonna take no for an answer. Red Tooth unleashes a sonic slash on Seven, but Seven just sidesteps it. Red Tooth ain't finished though, cause he uses instant transmission to try and sneak Seven. Seven was really coming like Avatar Aang, the way he was dodging and weaving all these hits. Red Tooth is hawking Seven down and they are really going hit for hit. They are evenly matched. Red Tooth goes for a slice, but Seven hits the reverse hee hee and then activates his Sharingan to read the leg sweep and counters with a sword to the gut. But remember what I said earlier, Red Tooth is really a D1 Hall of Fame crash out because he just stands there unfazed and continues to keep walking forward.
This nigga is crazy.
Red Tooth bites Seven and the look on Seven's face kills me every time. Bro is absolutely flabbergasted.
Is this nigga serious?
Red Tooth is out here boxing like Werewolf Sonic. And speaking of Werewolf Sonic, Red Tooth transforms into Ezekiel from Total Drama and bro is barely human at this point. This is gonna be top 10 ugliest character transformations of all time. Seven is about to get caught lacking but is saved by that one captain from Bleach. And that's the end of the first Red Tooth appearance. Now fast forward and 10 years later, Red Tooth pulls up to the grandma's house and let me tell you, this ain't your regular grandma. She's been boxing like Granny Chio. They've been fighting and Red Tooth uses his iconic flash step, and by the look in his eyes, I already knew this wasn't gonna be the same as last time. This is basically a fight straight out of Dragon Ball Super. They have an entire aura struggle which ends up in a huge explosion. Granny is rocking Super Saiyan Blue and Red Tooth is rocking that Super Saiyan God aura. Granny expands her Nen and these guys are literally in the air going hit for hit like Goku versus Beerus.
Ooh, that brother's floating in the air.
Grandpa over here just watched his fellow elderly get bounced 40 yards across the concrete and decides to pull out the blicky, but it doesn't do anything and just leaves an inconvenient mark. Seven, who's still suffering from amnesia, now sees Red Tooth and starts tripping out. After bro recovers from his PTSD, Red Tooth walked over to the granny and starts whispering some freaky stuff while grabbing her by the chin.
I'm over here stroking my dick. I got lotion on my dick right now. I'm just stroking my shit. I'm horny as fuck, man. I'm a freak, man. Like, for real.
Now, I'm not even gonna pretend to know what's going on at this point anymore. Like, Seven intercepts Red Tooth and goes into some sort of Street Fighter video game animation, and this is exactly the random nonsensical nonsense that always catches me off guard in this show. Now that regular show cutaway is over, we spin back to Seven versus Red Tooth and he is trying to hold him back with his telekinesis, but Red Tooth just sucked Dai Bo's soul out, no Diddy, and is about to go Super Saiyan Gremlin. The granny begins explaining to Seven that she needs to kiss a man in order to power up, but Seven's like, hell nah.
Oh. Fuck all that! Nah, ain't no fuck all that.
But she grabs and kisses him anyways, and on some Powerpuff Madoka Magica, Sailor Moon timing, she transforms into her ultimate form. Slice, weave, bomb strike. Nah, don't tell me this is the same granny from before. This might be Lady Tsunade. Wait, hold up. Nah, scratch that. This is Lady Tsunade. No way she just pulled out the Naruto hand signs into a domain expansion. Look at my boy Redtooth, he got hit by an unlimited void. We end up finding some background lore to Granny and Redtooth, and turns out bro was trying to get busy with Granny, but after Granny became the head of the clan, they couldn't be together no more, because it's forbidden for the head of the Heavenly Lily clan to get into like a physical relationship. So bro went on his Obito timing and started tweaking out. Redtooth literally borrowed his gremlin powers from Shaitan himself, and then went back to his clan to massacre everyone. And you gotta ask yourself, is some mid coochie really worth it? After they jumped him, Granny decided to save him, but ended up parting ways with him. They get back to boxing, and Granny puts Redtooth in the Skylanders portal. No way a singular kiss gave her all this power. She might be able to hang with Goku. This portal thing basically works the same as like the Reaper Death Seal, and she's trying to extract the devil's evil from his body. She was winning but ended up stopping because she was still in love with him. He tries to pull in Azula and shoots at her friends, and then tries to suck the soul out of yet another person. I don't know how much longer I can defend him. Seven's pet bird locks in and sucks Redtooth in the jaw, but he just begins laughing and goes Super Gremlin 2. Dai Bo tries to make a final stand in his warrior form, but he eventually gets clapped too. But in the last minute, when it matters most, on some Kaneki from Tokyo Ghoul timing, his assassin self talks to him and tells him to lock in. Come on bro, isn't this so similar? This like really reminds me of Tokyo Ghoul or like Naruto in that one episode when he speaks to his evil self. He lets his assassin self take over, and he wastes no time, smacks his hand away and gives him a slice to the chest. Redtooth gets shook after he realizes it's Seven the Shadow Killer, and for a second time, that one captain from Bleach saves my boy Seven again. But this time he only came to drop a care package and set up a barrier for the final fight. But instead of just fighting with his dagger, he also uses his scissors, which shows a nice symbolism of his past and present self, you know, coming together and living in harmony. They are going hit for hit, but Redtooth uses a key charge to send Seven flying. Seven ends up getting a flashback of his current life and sends his scissors at Mach 10 speed, but you guessed it, out of nowhere, this man Redtooth summons a whole ass stand to block it. What do you mean? This is not Inazuma 11. What was supposed to be a show about a goofy wannabe assassin trying to be a hairstylist has turned into Dragon Ball Super levels of nonsense. And for the third time, the guy from Bleach pulls up to save the day again and one taps Redtooth, which then begins like a whole separate story arc with this guy secretly trying to get revenge for his clan or something like that. Man, this show literally has everything. Whatever type of media or preference you have, Scissor 7 is going to scratch that itch. I would have never thought this random Chinese Netflix original would bring me like so much joy and sensation. I'd definitely recommend. If I honestly had to rank it, I'd say it's like a 9 out of 10. Like, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to subscribe, and you can watch another one right here. And 3k likes and I'll drop a part 2. Peace. Oh yeah, join the Discord.